Joining me now is business owner, international speaker, and author Sanya Weston, as well as Mark Lee, founder of the Lee Group. Thank you both for coming in this Monday morning. So, Sanya, I want to start with you. You're an advocate. Tell us how you got started being an advocate for others.
Well, it started on the, when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, it started with Goldman Sachs. I was an alumni of the Goldman Sachs 10K Small Business Program. And through that, part of our lessons were learning how to advocate and learn what to advocate for as an entrepreneur. And from there, I had an opportunity to lead entrepreneurs from Detroit and DC on Capitol Hill and talk about topics that made a difference for us, for all entrepreneurs, especially the minorities, because when it comes to minorities and in the entrepreneur space, it's always, the list is longer. But anything that happens when we correct a situation with minorities, it affects everyone. So, you know, entrepreneurship has no color. You know, no matter what the business is, we all suffer from the same issues.
It sounds like such an interesting job. Mark, talk about the power of advocacy when it comes to businesses.
Absolutely. You know, people want to they want a seat at the table. And entrepreneurs, quite frankly, many times they're on an island. They're not sure who they talk to, who's representing them, how can they elevate the issues, what channels do they have? And I think the power from an entrepreneurial perspective is someone like a Sanya has the ability to represent them, take those issues and those challenges and share them with the right people. And as a result of doing that, you don't feel like you're on that island because you're sharing your concerns with other people who are looking for similar solutions as well. Very powerful.
Yeah, Sanya, I want to ask, how can local voices really influence national policies? I mean, that's got to be tough.
Oh, they can. You know, it takes one small voice to, you know, like a pebble in a lake to make a huge impact. So what happens is once you are knowledgeable on what the entrepreneur space is being affected by in your local city, you're able to take those challenges abroad and speak to people on a national level, and you'll be surprised that those same issues are being affected with people in other states. And once you have that seat at the table and you're able to have the voice, to voice the opinion on what you are addressed with personally, but also what other companies are being addressed with, you have those conversations, you're able to collaborate with other people, and then together you move and say, hey, we need to make some changes, or we need funding, or we need, you know, just people to come out and just engage with us so that we have the resources that are needed.
How hard is it to get people to understand the specific challenges that minority businesses actually face?
Well, you know, I like to say through my experience, you know, the political scene has something to do with it because you do have to impact them on what their interests are. So if you go to the table and have a lot of issues that may be, you know, financial, or it just may be something that we need to pass a law to get passed to allow us to advance, then together we'll be able to I guess, make an impact. You know, I say through my experiences, I've sat with Republicans, Democrats, or whoever. You know, like I said, an entrepreneur, it has no color, it has no particular way of being affected by what happens. So it's all about the passion that comes behind the entrepreneur. It's all about the hard work that we have to endure, and through that, we are able to recognize what we need and who we need to contact to get things done.
That's a good point about policy. A lot of times we think of challenges being in, you know, access to capital. We talked before, and other challenges. But the bottom line is, what policies are out there? You know, as it relates to taxes, for example, as it relates to getting access to capital. You know, what impact can Sanya, for example, help to take to Washington, D.C., to take to Lansing, Michigan, and say, these are the challenges from a policy perspective that may benefit small businesses. And that's why I'm saying it's important to have that seat at the table, because they're so busy doing everything else that sometimes that one or two individuals will get lost in the process.
Exactly.
Well, the businesses definitely need someone to advocate for them, and Sanya, I'm glad you're doing that.
Yes, it's a wonderful opportunity for me. It has allowed me to just affect generations to come, because, you know, I can just quickly say that when I started in entrepreneurship, I didn't get invited to these special meetings or organizations that can help us, and we have so many, especially in Detroit, that could assist our entrepreneurs and also abroad.
All right, that's Strictly Business for this Monday. Sanya, Mark Lee, thanks a lot for dropping by today. Really
Thank you so much.
That. We need to take a break here on CBS News at 7. Back in a bit.